Hello, my dear friend. My name is Emma Carter. I'm 19 years old, and I live in Austin, Texas, United States. I'm currently a second-year college student, majoring in communications, and I'm so happy to share my story with you today on a topic that's very personal to me. My day improving English. Now you might wonder, but Emma, you're already American. Why would you need to improve your English? And yes, I'm a native speaker, born and raised here in the US. But improving English, especially speaking clearly, confidently, and effectively, is not just for non-native speakers. It's for everyone who wants to connect better, express better, and grow personally and professionally. Let me take you through one of my real days, an honest, simple day, but one that is packed with small moments where I consciously work to improve my English. Because trust me, your ordinary day holds the biggest opportunities to become extraordinary with your words. I usually wake up around 6:30 in the morning. My alarm is set to the same soft tone every day. It's not because I'm a morning person, because I'm not. But I've learned that starting my day early helps me stay calm and have more control over my routine. Once I'm up, the very first thing I do is talk to myself in the mirror. Sounds weird? Maybe, but it works. I say something like, "Good morning, Emma. Today is a new day. You're going to do your best and speak with confidence. Let's begin." This little talk lasts for just 1 minute, but it sets the tone. I do it in English, clearly and slowly. I focus on how I say the words, not just what I say. I notice my pronunciation, my facial expressions, and even my body language. Next, I brush my teeth, freshen up, and head to the kitchen where my mom, Jennifer Carter, is usually preparing breakfast. We're a small family, just me, my mom, and my younger brother Lucas, who's 15. We all speak English at home, of course, but I've made it a rule for myself. I speak thoughtfully. I don't rush. I use new vocabulary when I can. For example, instead of saying, "This toast is good," I try, "This toast is delicious, crispy on the outside and warm in the center." It may sound small, but adding descriptive words has helped my spoken English sound richer and more expressive. After breakfast, I head to my college. It's about a 15-minute drive. I listen to English podcasts in the car. My favorite is one called Speak Real English. The hosts talk naturally, not like textbooks. They laugh, they pause. They even mess up sometimes. And that's what I love. It reminds me that real English isn't perfect, and I don't have to be either. When I get to campus, I meet my best friend, Rachel Miller. Rachel and I met during our first year, and we both love improving our speaking skills. So, we made a deal. Whenever we talk, we try to use new expressions and correct each other gently. If I say something like, "I don't want no coffee," she'll smile and say, "Double negative, Emma. You mean, I don't want any coffee." We do this without judgment, just like teammates. It helps so much. My first class is Public Speaking 201, taught by Professor Andrew Blake. He's tall, kind, and always encourages us to speak up. The first time I gave a speech in that class, I was shaking inside. My voice cracked. My hands were cold. But after that experience, I realized something very important. You don't grow by staying quiet. You grow by using your voice, even when it's shaky. Now I volunteer to speak in every session. I might not be the best, but I show up. And guess what? Every time I speak, I get a little better, a little clearer, a little braver. Around 12:30 p.m., I head to the cafeteria. During lunch, I often sit with a mixed group of friends. One of them is Sofia Reyes, an exchange student from Mexico. She's working hard on her English, and I admire her dedication. She teaches me Spanish phrases, and I help her with English pronunciation. We laugh a lot together. I noticed that when we laugh while speaking English, we actually remember things better. Emotions help you learn, something no textbook ever told me. After lunch, I usually go to the library to do assignments, but I've created a small habit that really helps me. Before I write or read anything, I write down 5 English phrases or idioms that I want to use that day. Here's what I wrote last Tuesday. Hit the nail on the head, break the ice, out of the blue, by the book, bite the bullet. Then I challenge myself to use them in conversation, writing, or even my thoughts. For example, when Rachel was nervous about a test, I told her, just bite the bullet and start studying. You'll feel better once you begin. It made her laugh, and I felt proud. Small wins like that build big confidence. My classes end around 3 p.m. On the way home, I usually stop at a local coffee shop called Brewhouse 52. The barista, Michael, is super friendly, and we always chat. One day, I asked him how to sound more natural when speaking English. He said something I'll never forget. Just talk like you're telling a story to your best friend. Don't worry about fancy words. Just be real. That advice changed everything for me. In the evening, after dinner with my family, I dedicate 30 minutes to speaking practice. I record myself speaking on different topics, my weekend plans, my favorite book, or even how my day went. Then I play it back, listen carefully, and notice areas I can improve. At first, I hated hearing my own voice. It felt awkward, but with time, I've learned to listen with kindness, not criticism. Sometimes I even pretend I'm on a podcast. I say, "Welcome to Emma's Daily Talk. Today we're discussing confidence in speaking English. It's fun. It keeps me motivated." Before I go to bed, I read a few pages of an English novel. Right now, it's To Kill a Mockingbird. And then I write a short reflection in my journal, all in English. Even if it's just, "Today I felt nervous in class, but I'm proud I spoke up." That's growth. After a few nights of my mirror pep talks and journaling, I woke up the next morning feeling curious to see just how far I could push myself. My alarm chimed at 6:30 a.m. as usual, but today I didn't linger under the covers. I leapt out of bed and reached for my favorite notebook, the one with the polka dot cover, and wrote down 3 questions I'd ask myself throughout the day in English. What's the most exciting part of today? How can I use an idiom I've learned? What challenged me, and how did I overcome it? Once I'd jotted those down, I headed to the kitchen, where Mom had pancakes waiting. Lucas grinned at me. "You look extra chipper today." I smiled back and said, "I'm going to seize the day, hit the ground running, actually." Lucas paused mid-bite, looked at me, and asked, "What does that mean?" And just like that, I realized teaching Lucas idioms was a brilliant way to reinforce them in my own mind. I explained, "It means to start something energetically." His eyes lit up, and he repeated it with a flourish. On my drive to campus, instead of my usual podcast, I played a TED Talk by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. She spoke about the danger of a single story, and I scribbled in the margins of my notebook, "Rich source of vocabulary, compelling use of narrative." I practiced saying a key phrase out loud: "Stories matter. They shape our understanding of the world." When I arrived at the Center for Language and Culture, I had a volunteer shift today. Through a campus program, I help immigrants practice conversational English. My first conversation partner was Mr. Ahmed, who'd moved here from Syria 2 years ago. He was kind but reserved. I asked him, "What did you do in Syria?" And he shared memories of teaching math to high schoolers. As he spoke, I listened, nodding and occasionally summarizing. "So you guided students in algebra, ensuring they grasped each concept?" He smiled broadly. "Yes, that was exactly it." Then he asked me, "How can I sound more natural?" It felt like a full circle moment. I suggested he record his voice, as I do, and then compare it to native speakers. I even showed him how I use my phone's voice recorder. Teaching him helped me internalize my own techniques in a new way. By the end of our session, he was laughing at his first attempts at small talk, weather chit-chat, as we jokingly called it, and I felt a surge of pride. After volunteering, I met Rachel for lunch. Today, instead of sitting in the cafeteria, we walked to Crepe Corner, a small cafe with the best strawberry banana crepes in town. On the walk there, we challenged each other to tell a mini story in English about our weekends. Mine was about hiking at Barton Creek Greenbelt. Last Saturday, I strapped on my hiking boots and hit the trail at dawn. The breeze was cool, and the sunrise painted the limestone cliffs gold. Rachel chimed in with her story about baking cinnamon rolls with her grandma. We corrected each other's tenses and vocabulary until our desserts arrived. Delicious, warm, and fluffy. That afternoon, I had a group presentation in my communications class. Normally, group work makes me nervous. Who knows how my teammates will react? But I'd been preparing. I opened the meeting by saying, "Good afternoon, everyone. Today, our group will walk you through." I used the phrase "walk you through," which I'd recently learned. My teammates, Josh and Mia, gave me thumbs up, and at the end, Professor Blake praised our clarity. Excellent use of informal language to engage the audience. Hearing that felt like a medal pinned to my chest. When I got home around 5 p.m., Mom called me to help set the table. As we arranged dishes, she asked about my day. I realized how often I share my English learning journey with her, making our household conversations richer. I told her, "Today I really pushed my boundaries, taught, presented, and led with new expressions." She hugged me and said, "Your dedication is inspiring." Later, I settled in for my evening routine. Instead of just reading, I decided to write a short blog post about today's experiences. I titled it, "Seizing the Day: How Teaching Others Boosts Your Own Skills." As I typed, I felt every sentence sharpen my understanding. When I finished, I read it aloud, tweaking phrasing until it sounded smooth. Before I fell asleep, I answered the 3 questions from my notebook. Most exciting part: helping Mr. Ahmed laugh at his first weather chit-chat. Idioms used: hit the ground running, walk you through. Challenge and response: group presentation nerves, prepared and practiced, delivered confidently. The next morning, I woke up to the soft chime of my alarm at 6:30 a.m., just like I had promised myself. This time, though, I didn't feel tired or reluctant. I felt motivated, like I had momentum. I stretched my arms, smiled at the ceiling, and whispered, "Today is another chance to grow." I reached for my notebook and flipped to a fresh page. I wrote down 3 new questions. What new phrase will I use today? How will I challenge my comfort zone in English? Who will I connect with meaningfully using English? After my morning routine, I made a cup of tea and reviewed my English vocabulary flashcards for 10 minutes while waiting for the kettle to boil. Words like resilient, perspective, and navigate stood out to me. I made a goal to use at least one in conversation today. At 8:15 a.m., I arrived on campus. My first class was Sociology 201, and my professor, Dr. Leonard, always encouraged open discussion. Today's topic was social media's impact on mental health, which I had so many thoughts about. Usually, I listened more than I spoke, but I reminded myself of my second question: how will I challenge my comfort zone? So, when Dr. Leonard asked, "Does anyone think social media can positively influence identity?" I raised my hand. My voice trembled at first, but I took a breath and said, "I believe it depends on how we navigate it." For example, some platforms give marginalized communities a voice. That changes the whole perspective. Dr. Leonard smiled and nodded. Excellent use of vocabulary, Emma. I wanted to sink into my chair and beam at the same time. After class, I went to the student cafe and found my favorite corner seat by the window. I opened my laptop to check my email, and I saw a new message from Professor Miriam, one of the coordinators at the university's International Friendship Circle, the group where I volunteered. She had seen my interaction with Mr. Ahmed and asked if I'd be willing to lead a beginner conversation group this Friday. I stared at the screen for a moment. Me? Lead? That meant responsibility. That meant people listening to me. That meant speaking clearly and confidently in English. But it also meant growth. I typed back, "Hi, Professor Miriam. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'd love to lead the group this Friday. Please let me know what materials I should prepare." I hit send before I could second-guess myself. During lunch, I met with my friend Rachel again. We'd made a small routine: share a story from our week using English idioms. I told her about how I'd bit the bullet and volunteered to lead the Friday group. She laughed and clapped. "Emma, you're becoming fearless," she said. I told her I was still nervous, but she said something that stuck with me. Fear and courage can live in the same place. You just have to choose which one drives. That evening, I had a video call with my cousin Jasmine in San Diego. She's originally from Mexico and learned English later in life, just like I did. We try to speak only English when we call, to help each other. She told me about her new job at a bookstore, and I told her about leading the conversation group. She said, "Emma, I remember when you wouldn't even order your own food in English. Now you're teaching others? That's real progress." That made me pause. I thought about how far I'd come, not just in speaking English, but in believing in myself. Later, I sat at my desk and created a lesson plan for Friday. I wanted to make the session fun and not overwhelming. I planned a game called Describe and Guess, where each person describes an object without naming it. I also chose a few phrases like on cloud nine, a piece of cake, and under the weather. I added sample sentences and pronunciation tips. Before I closed my notebook for the night, I answered my 3 questions. New phrase used, bit the bullet. Comfort zone challenge, spoke up in class. Meaningful connection. Jasmine reminded me of my journey and gave me encouragement. And as I lay in bed, I realized something beautiful. Every day isn't just a day anymore. Every day is a step, a lesson, a new word, a bold choice, and a story worth telling. 2 days later, Friday arrived. I was a little jittery before the group session started. I wore my favorite sky blue cardigan, tied my hair neatly, and clutched my notes like they were a lifeline. As the clock ticked to 4 p.m., the room filled with students, about 10 of them, from different countries. I saw faces from India, Brazil, Vietnam, and Ethiopia. Some looked nervous, just like I used to be. I introduced myself with a smile. Hi, everyone. I'm Emma Carter. I'm a student here too, and I know how intimidating English can feel. So today, we're going to learn, laugh, and relax. I started the Describe and Guess activity, and soon the room was full of chuckles and thoughtful pauses. One student, Min from Vietnam, described a refrigerator as a cold closet where food sleeps. We all laughed, and I said, "That's brilliant imagery." By the end, I asked them to share one phrase they learned today. Most of them remembered a piece of cake. Min raised his hand and said, "Today, speaking English felt less scary, maybe like a small cake." That line melted me. I smiled and nodded. That's the goal, one small cake at a time. Now, it's been 3 weeks since that day, and I've been leading the group every Friday. Each session, I grow a little more confident. And what surprises me the most is how teaching others has sharpened my own skills. It's like the more I give, the more I get in return. I've also started recording short English videos on Instagram, just 60-second clips of phrases, tips, or stories from my journey. Last week, one of my videos about how to use break the ice got over 4,000 views. That blew my mind. People from different countries messaged me, saying my voice made them feel calm, or that they felt like they were learning with a friend. Sometimes I still feel unsure. I still stumble over words. I still freeze mid-sentence. But now I know that fluency isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. So here I am, Emma Carter, 20 years old, from Austin, Texas. A university student, a daughter, a sister, a friend, and now, an English mentor to others. My day starts the same. 3 questions, a heart full of hope, and a reminder that language is not just about speaking. It's about connection, courage, and becoming who you were meant to be. And as I write this, I think of you. Maybe someone reading this who feels like I once did. Unsure, quiet, stuck between understanding and expression. Let me tell you this. You can do it. Every word you learn is a seed. Every sentence you speak is a bloom. And one day, you'll look back and realize you didn't just learn a language, you grew into a new version of yourself. One word, one sentence, one day at a time. A week after the video on Break the Ice went viral, something happened that completely surprised me. And honestly, it felt like a full circle moment. I was sitting in the university library, working on a paper for my English composition class, when a girl tapped me on the shoulder. She looked nervous, clutching a book and her phone tightly. Excuse me, she said quietly. Are you Emma Carter from Instagram? I blinked in surprise. Yeah, that's me. Her eyes lit up. I saw your video about small talk. I watched it like 10 times. It helped me talk to my lab partner yesterday. I just wanted to say, thank you. You made English feel friendly. I felt my cheeks flush. I never imagined someone would recognize me from a 60-second video. Wow, I said, still processing. Thank you so much. That means the world to me. Her name was Lena, a first-year biology student from Colombia, and she had only been in the U.S. for 3 months. She told me how overwhelmed she'd felt, how she understood everything her professor said, but froze when it was her turn to speak. I smiled, because I knew exactly what that felt like. So I invited her to join the Friday conversation group. That Friday, she came. She didn't speak much at first, just smiled and listened. But during the idiom activity, when it was her turn, she said, I feel nervous, but I will try. This week, I used the phrase, hit the books, because I had an exam. We all clapped for her. I could see her exhale in relief and pride. That's when I realized something huge. The same fear I had lived with for years was now helping me relate to others. My weakness had become my strength. Later that weekend, I sat by the lake behind our campus, thinking. I watched ducks skim across the water. The sun was soft and golden, and the world felt quiet. I opened my notebook and wrote this. Emma, don't stop. You are turning the hardest part of your life into a bridge for others. And while they cross, you heal too. I read that sentence again and again, because it was true. The next Monday, in class, something unexpected happened again. My professor for creative writing, Ms. Taylor, approached me after class. Emma, she said, I came across your English videos online. You have a gift. Have you ever thought about mentoring students one-on-one? I blinked. You mean tutoring? She nodded. Yes. The Writing Center is hiring student tutors, especially those who understand the challenges of second language learners. You'd be perfect. For a second, I felt nervous. Was I really qualified? But then I remembered. I am qualified. Not because I have perfect grammar, but because I understand the fear, the self-doubt, the silence. So I said, yes. I'd love to. Now, fast forward 1 month. I work 6 hours a week at the University Writing Center. I meet with students from all over the world: China, Egypt, France, Nigeria, Brazil. Some of them are brilliant but shy. Some don't trust their voice. Some apologize before even starting a sentence. I tell them all the same thing I tell myself. Your voice matters. Speak it into the world. One of my favorite students is Arav from India. He writes amazing essays, but he always ends with, sorry if it's not good. So one day, after reading his draft, I said, Don't apologize for your thoughts. This is your story, and it's powerful. He smiled slowly. You really think so? Yes. And I used to think the same way. But now I help others write and speak. You can too. He laughed. Maybe one day I'll be the next Emma Carter. These days, I still ask myself the same three questions every morning, but I've added a fourth. Who can I encourage today? Because the truth is, improving English isn't just about reading books or memorizing vocabulary. It's about using language to connect, share, and inspire. And when you start doing that, you're not just learning English, you're learning life. My day starts with tea, vocabulary, and gratitude. My afternoons are filled with tutoring, mentoring, and small victories, like a shy student raising their hand. My evenings are quieter. I usually write in my journal. Sometimes I record a new video. Sometimes I just sit and breathe. And every night, I remind myself of this. Fluency is not the finish line. It's the path I walk every day, with heart, with courage, and with purpose. So if you're still struggling, still doubting yourself, still afraid to speak, I get it. I was you. But if Emma Carter from Austin, Texas, 20-year-old girl who once cried after failing to order food in English, can now teach, lead, and help others.
Tips and tricks. 1. Start your day with English input. What Emma did. She started her day with tea, and while sipping, she listened to an English podcast or a motivational quote. Why it works. Morning input sets the tone for the day. It activates your listening brain in English. The more you listen, the more natural English becomes. How you can do it. Choose one short English video or podcast, 3 to 5 minutes. Prefer casual topics, daily life, student life, or small talk. Write down one new word or one phrase from it. Example, break the ice means to start a conversation in a relaxed way. 2. Use a mirror and talk to yourself. What Emma did. She practiced small conversations in front of the mirror. She pretended to be in real situations, like ordering food, asking directions, or chatting with a friend. Why it works. You get used to hearing your own voice in English. It helps you overcome the fear of speaking. You can control pronunciation and body language. How you can do it. Choose one topic. Introduce yourself. Talk about your lunch or my weekend plan. Speak for 2 to 3 minutes. No script. Record yourself on your phone, then play it back. Example line. Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a student at UT Austin. I'm studying creative writing and I love sharing stories. 3. Join a conversation group, even online. What Emma did. She joined a campus English conversation group on Fridays and later created her own casual group with international students. Why it works. You practice real speaking, not just theory. You learn different accents, speaking speeds, and vocabulary. It builds confidence quickly. How you can do it. If you are in a university, ask for language clubs or meetups. If you're online, join free English conversation apps or Facebook groups, like English Speaking Cafe. Start a weekly Zoom call with a friend and practice 20 minutes of English. Tip. Choose simple topics, favorite food, hobbies, family, last movie you watched. 4. Shadowing technique. Best for fluency. What Emma did. She mimicked native speakers by repeating exactly what they said immediately after them, like an echo. Why it works: trains your mouth and brain to speak smoothly, improves pronunciation, rhythm, and sentence flow, builds muscle memory. How you can do it: watch a short video with subtitles, like a TED Talk, vlog, or short film. Play one sentence, pause, then repeat aloud immediately. Try to copy everything: tone, speed, pauses. Example: if the speaker says, "It was a long day, but I learned so much," you repeat, "It was a long day, but I learned so much." But I learned so much. 5. Use notebook vocabulary practice. Emma's notebook method. What Emma did: she kept a small notebook and wrote down new words, phrases daily, with one example sentence for each. Why it works: reinforces memory by writing and seeing. You learn words in context, not just definitions. You build your own sentence examples. How you can do it: get a pocket notebook or use a notes app. Every day, write 3 to 5 new words. For each word, add definition in your language, if needed. English sentence example: a memory tip or situation where you can use it. Example: word, overwhelmed. Meaning, feeling too much stress or pressure. Sentence: I felt overwhelmed during my first day at university. Tip: use it when talking about exams or too many tasks. 6. Talk to friends. Don't worry about mistakes. What Emma learned: speaking without fear of mistakes is the key to growing. She helped Lena, a shy student, speak by celebrating small wins. Why it works: you learn faster through real conversation. Mistakes are the best teachers. You gain social and emotional confidence. How you can do it: don't wait to be fluent before speaking. Speak to become fluent. Ask your friends to speak English for 10 minutes during lunch or breaks. If you forget a word, describe it. Example: I forgot the word, but it's something like a big meeting, like a party for business people. Maybe you mean conference. 7. Write a daily journal in English. What Emma did: she ended her day by writing in English just 5 to 10 sentences. It was not perfect, but it was consistent. Why it works: helps you process your day in English, improves grammar and sentence structure naturally, increases confidence to express thoughts. How you can do it: every night, write about your day. What did you do? What did you learn? What word did you hear today? Don't worry about mistakes. Just write. Example journal: today I met a new friend. She is from Colombia. I spoke slowly, but I was not shy. I used the phrase, break the ice, and she laughed. It felt good. 8. Teach what you learn, like Emma's social media tips. What Emma did: she created short videos teaching idioms, phrases, or conversation tips. Explaining helped her remember. Why it works: when you teach something, you learn it twice. You understand deeply because you have to explain it. You can inspire others too. How you can do it: post simple videos or write social media captions with one phrase each week, or pretend to teach a friend. Example: today I learned cut to the chase. It means get to the point fast. 9. Set 1. Tiny English goal. Every day, what Emma did. She asked herself every morning, what will I learn today? What will I speak today? What will I share today? Why it works. Keeps you focused. You improve step by step. You stay motivated even on busy days. How you can do it. Write your goal on a sticky note or in your phone. Make it specific and small. Examples. Learn 3 new phrasal verbs. Speak English for 5 minutes with a classmate. Watch 1 TED Talk and copy 2 expressions. 10. Surround yourself with English. Passive exposure. What Emma did. She changed her phone language to English, listened to music in English, and followed English-speaking creators. Why it works. You absorb English even when not actively studying. Your brain gets used to English sounds, structure, and slang. How you can do it. Change your phone, apps, and social media to English. Listen to English music. Learn lyrics and sing along. Watch short YouTube videos daily in English. Example. Listening to Taylor Swift or Ed Sheeran can teach emotional language. More tips and tricks to improve your English. Inspired by Emma Carter's Story 11. Think in English throughout the day. What Emma practiced. Instead of translating from her native language to English, she trained herself to think in English for small things. What will I eat? Where's my charger? I feel tired today. Why it works. It removes the time delay caused by translation. You become faster and more natural in conversation. It creates automatic thinking in English. How you can do it. Start with 1 hour a day. Tell yourself everything in English. Use simple phrases. I need to study. I'm walking to class. This coffee's hot. Describe what you see or feel in English. Bonus tip. If you don't know a word, explain it in English. For example, instead of microwave, say, the machine to heat food. 12. Create your own English environment at home. What Emma did, she made her room feel like a mini English-speaking world. Posters, books, quotes, a mini whiteboard, all in English. Why it works. You absorb English without even trying. Your brain accepts English as part of your personal space. It keeps you in a learning mood. How you can do it. Hang up a small English calendar or goal sheet. Write a new word of the day on your wall or mirror. Decorate your space with English quotes or flashcards. Example. Quote, speak your mind even if your voice shakes. 13. Practice real-life dialogues every day. What Emma practiced. She imagined herself in different life situations, asking for help in a store, visiting the doctor or making small talk on the bus, and practiced what to say. Why it works. It prepares you for real moments. You are less nervous because you've rehearsed. You use useful, natural language. How you can do it. Choose one real-life situation every day. Write a short script or role play aloud. Practice with a partner or even just record it. Example. Situation. At a cafe. Hi, can I get a medium latte with almond milk, please? Sure, for here or to go? To go. Thank you. 14. Use voice typing for speaking practice. What Emma used. She used her phone's voice typing feature, like Google Voice Input or iPhone dictation, to check how clearly she was speaking. Why it works. You get real-time feedback on pronunciation. It helps you speak slowly and clearly. You learn to form proper sentences while speaking. How you can do it. Open Notes or Google Docs. Click the microphone icon and speak a few sentences. See how accurately your phone types what you said. Bonus challenge. Dictate your journal or an English story idea using only your voice. 15. Speak with customer service, volunteers, or community workers. What Emma tried. Sometimes she would call a helpline, like a bank or campus service, or visit a public desk just to practice small conversations in English. Why it works. You interact with real native or fluent speakers. You get used to different accents and styles. You use polite, functional English. How you can do it. Start small. Ask for help at the library, post office, or student center. Volunteer in your city or school and talk to others in English. Say simple things. Excuse me, can I ask a question? How do I apply for this? Example. Call your favorite store and ask, do you have this product in stock? 16. Use tongue twisters for pronunciation. What Emma practiced. To improve her pronunciation and fluency, she spent 5 minutes a day saying English tongue twisters. Why it works. Improves your clarity and speed. Strengthens your mouth muscles. Helps with tricky sounds like the, s, eshe, rer, and l. How you can do it. How you can do it. Pick one tongue twister each day. Say it slowly 3 times, then faster. Record yourself and compare your improvement. Example. She sells seashells by the seashore. Red lorry, yellow lorry. 33 thirsty thieves thrilled the throne. 17. Use the 3R technique. Read, repeat, retell. What Emma learned. She used this method with short stories or videos to practice fluency. Why it works. You absorb sentence structure. You improve pronunciation by repeating. You build memory and confidence by retelling. How you can do it. Read a short story or article. Repeat parts of it out loud, like an actor. Retell it in your own words. Summary, out loud or written. Example. Read a news article. Repeat one paragraph. Retell the story in simple English. 18. Use flashcards with real sentences. What Emma did. She created flashcards not with just words, but full phrases and useful real-life sentences. Why it works. You learn vocabulary and context. You remember better when it feels real and emotional. You avoid robotic or textbook-style speaking. How you can do it. Use apps like Anki, Quizlet, or Real Cards. Write one sentence per card. Front, I'm running late. Back, when I'm late to class or a meeting. Use emotion. The brain remembers feelings better than facts. 19th, celebrate small wins. What Emma believed. Even saying one correct sentence or making a new English friend was a big victory. She didn't wait for perfection. Why it works builds motivation and happiness, creates a habit of speaking positively, keeps you going when progress feels slow. How you can do it. Keep a confidence jar. Each time you do something in English, write it on paper and drop it in. Once a week, read them and celebrate. Example: I asked a stranger for directions in English. I joined a conversation group today. I understood a full YouTube video without subtitles. 20. Record weekly. Video diaries in English. What Emma shared. She filmed herself once a week, talking about her life, her thoughts, or what she learned. Why it works. You become more expressive and natural. You get visual feedback on your confidence and body language. You build a personal record of your progress. How you can do it. Set your camera. Talk for 3 to 5 minutes. No script. Be yourself. Watch after a month and compare your growth. Final motivation from Emma. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be brave enough to try. Speak one sentence today, then one more tomorrow. That's how fluency is built, slowly, proudly, day by day.